Hi, and welcome to the Flute Talk podcast, where we talk about all things flute live here on Patreon. What is Patreon? Patreon is a place for fans like you to come and support creators like us. So why not join us over on Patreon and help us continue to make great content? The Flute Talk podcast is also brought to you by the Flute Center of New York. The Flute Center of New York has the world's largest selection of flutes. If you need to buy a flute or piccolo, the Flute Center of New York has you covered. With our code TFC at checkout, you can try up to 3 to 4 flutes for up to 10 days, have an extended 18-month warranty, and free shipping worldwide. So be sure to go to the website flutes, 4, sale.com. So that's flute, 4, sale.com. flutesforsale.com. Just be sure to use that code TFC for all those perks, and a little bit of that does go our way. Another sponsor is, ourselves. We have a store. If you haven't noticed yet, we have a store over at store.theflutechannel.com. We have some shirts and posters and things like that over at Teespring. So you can definitely go there and get some merch, posters, whatever you like that we have. It will be there. You'll probably notice it under our videos. If you're interested, be sure to go to store.theflutechannel.com. That helps us out immensely. So yeah, on with the show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Flute Talk podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Emily.
Emily is a little sick today, but she's been sick for a couple days, almost a week. So
More than a week,
yeah. So if you can't hear Emily, I'm going to try to answer all the questions. This is the podcast for all of you, all of our community here on YouTube and on Patreon and everywhere. So if you guys want to leave some questions in the comment section, we'll definitely spend about half the time answering some of those questions and maybe a little bit more because we just have a bit of little news here and there. The book came out since the last podcast. It wasn't out, but now it is out. So if you want to go check on musoggy.com, that's MOUSOGY.com, you can go and see Emily's our book, all the thing that we worked on for quite a while. You can get that physical book, or you can get the digital PDF with the video courses and everything. Both packages come with the video courses, and we've had a lot of people go and get it, which is amazing. Thank you so much. It really does help with us to make all new content in the next couple months in 2020, and now it's like a new year, so it's like, and
it's encouraging to make more different things. You know?
And it's encouraging for us to make more because we're going to be working on an intermediate book eventually. That's in the works, and some other books too, which is really great. And that'll be the home for all of that too, and also some sheet music too as well. So that's going to be really exciting. So yeah, what else is there? That's it. I think that was the book that was really the big thing that kind of took a lot of December out of us, and that was really fun in a good way. It took a lot out of us, but in a good way. And so. If you guys have questions about anything about flute, we'll definitely look it down in the comment section here. Also, like I said, for Patreon, if you find it useful and you want to tip us, go and tip us over at patreon.com/theflutechannel. That helps us out a lot too. So let's see what's going on here. Oh my goodness, so many people in the chat. Hi everybody. There's so many. That's great. What do we got here? Oh, doesn't sound good at all. The sound doesn't good at all. Can you guys hear us? Hopefully you guys hear us. If you guys can't hear us, let us know. What do we got here? If you had to go back, what's we got here? Run Wildflower is saying, if you had to go back and replay a song you did in middle school or high school, what song would you do? Oh, I don't know. I know there was a lot of great songs and stuff like that we played in high school. I know we played a lot of band stuff, but I remember first learning in high school. At the end of my high school career, I was learning Poulenc, and I was playing that a lot. So I really playing that piece a lot.
I played that too. It's a nice piece.
And Chaminade too. Those two were the ones that kids were able to get and play.
But you can also play it as a professional.
Yes.
Or any level. Well, not any level, not beginner, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Right. Exactly. Yeah. If we had to go back and replay a song, but band songs. Let's see for band songs though. I loved what's his name? The guy who does all the jigs and stuff, Holst,
the Planets.
Not the Planets, but he wrote wind band stuff. Maybe it was him. I forget his name. It might be him, but it might have been somebody else. No, Granger. Granger's very good. Granger's a very good wind band composer. I can't remember. There's Lincolnshire Posy or something like that. There's a lot of different ones that are very, very good that I used to play all the time. Those are fun. Did you play in wind band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 years in high school. Like
Yeah.
here, it's a bit different. The
Right.
way school is.
Right. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Cool. Not anything in particular that you remember?
I remember a couple of arrangements of movie music that
movie
we really liked.
music.
One was one had.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
One had the movie Jaws, and someone had to shout.
Wow.
I really liked it.
That's very funny. Like,
Yeah, they're super high.
That's hilarious. Okay, thanks, Victor. Thanks for the tip on the audio. We thought we had audio issues, but there aren't any. That's good. When did you start playing the flute? I started playing the flute around 10 or 11. He's the same, I think. Right
11.
Now. 11. So, yeah, so quite a while ago. Not quite a while, but yeah.
Yeah.
Flo, I finally ordered and bought a flute. I chose the Yamaha 372 GL. It wasn't too expensive, and comments said it's a good flute. Unfortunately, there's no good places to try flutes out. Yeah, it's always a hard thing if you can't find a place to try flutes. But Yamaha 372s are like anything 200, 300 or up. Those are all really great standard flutes. And yeah, you can definitely try. I'm glad you got a flute. That's always good to have a new flute, and you can now practice and play properly. Make sure you maintain it and take a good care of it. Taking good care of it's another thing, but you definitely have to take it to a repair tech eventually. If you play a lot, let's say you play an hour or two every day, like every day, 7 days a week, you probably have to bring it at the end of the year to kind of get going.
But with the Flute Center of New York, you can also, even if you live in a place that doesn't have
That's right.
flutes, you can have them delivered and you can try them like that and send them back. And with our code TFC, you can have as many as 4, I think.
3 or 4 flutes, yeah. And it works worldwide. Like, so you can either go to flutes, the number 4 sale.com, so flutes for sale, or you can contact them, find them on Google, and you can call them. They're all flutists there, and you mention our code, they'll set you all up on how that all works out. And it's we've had a lot of people buy a couple flutes, so that's cool, and try out flutes too. So so it's really a great opportunity, and you literally have any flute available for you there, so it's pretty cool. What else we got here? Oh, these comments are going fast. Okay. We got that. What is a good solo that's a challenge and fun to learn? That's Nicole.
What's your level?
It depends on your level. So if get back to us on that, and we'll try to find, get back to us on that, and I'll look down in the comments. What are your favorite flute brands by Nicole as well? Well, I play on Yamaha, but I played on other flutes like Muramatsu and stuff like that, and those are all good flutes. You play on a Sankoi, I think, and like I think I've tried almost every type of major brand flute, like Powell and all those. At least tried them, So, but they all have their strengths, which is cool. Yeah. Hopefully that helps. But you have to try yourself, That's the thing. Like everybody's built differently. Every person is built differently. So trying a bunch of flutes, you can actually find out what's the most comfortable for you. Know? So that helps with that. Jaden wants to know, as a flutist, you said you were sick right now, and me and my brother both play flute, and we were both experiencing allergies. Any tips? Do you still practice or rest? Depends. For me, when I'm sick, sometimes I like to practice just a little bit. It actually makes me sound good. Sometimes I sound good for some reason, and try to keep it up. But then sometimes if I'm very sick, I don't play. Like in case for you, you haven't. You've just been resting because it's been a pretty brutal cold.
Yeah, and plus
sick.
we had
holidays,
parties and stuff.
Yeah,
so I kept my energy for those things.
Yeah, exactly.
The little bit of energy that I had.
Yeah.
But I can play sick. I've played concerts sick.
Yeah, me too.
Because when you're professional, you can't really.
Yeah, you can't cancel.
If you get sick and there's something, you kind of have to go.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you cancel something. So I've played with stiff necks and colds and fever.
Yeah, me too. Totally. It's the same. And I think
You've played with a stone.
Yeah, I played with kidney stones. I played with kidney stones, which is a lot of fun.
It's a bit funny because we don't do open heart surgery, but we take it so seriously.
Yes, we do. Exactly.
We do it sick.
Exactly. So, yeah, but I mean, like, I think we even talked about this in a podcast before, and that was about, like, somehow when we're sick and we play sick, our coughs don't come out. Like if we're coughing, like I would cough continuously before playing, and then when I start playing for minutes, sometimes I don't cough because I'm playing and blowing. So it's strange how that works. There's probably obviously a logical explanation for that, but I've never really coughed while playing. I
remember once I was coughing so much, and every time I would play, it would stop.
Oh wow!
But then right when I would put my flute down, would start again.
Exactly.
And same with migraines. When I was younger, I had a lot of migraines. And whenever I would play, I wouldn't feel the pain. I would stop playing and it would come back but 10 times worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie, just catching up on some comments. Do you have any advice for intermediate players that struggle with air sounds?
Air sounds.
Like, I guess, airiness in the sound. It's probably what they mean, like air in the sound.
Well, we have a good video about that.
Yeah, we have a pretty good video about that. I think it really comes down to a lot of, practicing and listening to your playing while you're, like a lot of practice. I know the answer for a lot of those things is always that practice, but mindfulness practice, listening to how you're playing, play in different types of positions with your air and your airstream and your support. All those things can help with that. And also have somebody maybe once in a while be in the same room or be outside the room and listen while you play, because like the thing with physics is that when you play, sometimes you think the airiness is there, but when it's in a hall, 50 feet away, the airiness isn't there, so it's a lot of those types of things that you have to kind of be mindful about, like what does it sound like out there and versus
because if you're looking for the pure sound, you might end up with a sound that doesn't project at all.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So
but try to find also, I see that a lot of people overcomplicate things when they play the flute.
Yes.
And they tend to move too much the embouchure between registers. So take your best note and look at how your embouchure is placed.
Yeah, exactly.
And then try to stay that way all throughout the registers.
Makes sense.
Yeah, as much as you can. There's going to be a tiny movement, but it's so subtle,
Yeah, it's so subtle. It's very subtle.
The most important is really coming from the air speed and all that stuff.
Yeah. Focusing more on that rhythm, all those types of things. Those things are the things that people are listening for sure. Bailey wants to know, do you guys enjoy jazz music or classical? We like all of them and play all of them. Like we played some jazz stuff on our album previously, and we play whatever's
I'm
there.
more comfortable playing classical because I've been trained like this way.
Yeah,
but I like to play any type of music.
Anything.
And
same. Like you did a Middle Eastern gig a month ago or so.
I've played a couple of times in a Arab festival, Arab music festival, and I like playing different styles. I think the brain doesn't see the difference between styles. It sees the difference between if it's interesting or not.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So.
Ariel said she sent $20. Well, hopefully we see it somewhere, but yeah.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Cool, I guess, yeah. Maybe on Patreon. What else do we got here? We already answered that. Feliz Navidad. Yeah, Feliz Navidad, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to everyone again. We'll see if we didn't say it already. What do we got here? If you could choose a secondary instrument, what would you pick? This is by Nolan. That's a good one. Well, you have a secondary instrument.
Yeah, I play the piano.
Yeah, and I played like some brass instruments when I was in marching band and stuff, and percussion and stuff. So if I had another truly secondary instrument, maybe another wind instrument, maybe clarinet or something. Well, never tried. Clarinet was one of those ones I never tried. But I would like to try that. That'd be cool. Yeah. But what would you pick beyond piano?
I don't know. Maybe guitar or percussion.
Yeah, guitar. I totally forgot about guitar.
Or another wind. I don't know. But yeah, I don't have a lot of time for that.
Are we going to publish more new videos for beginners? Yeah, we'll still be publishing new videos for beginners.
But now we also have the book.
Now we also have the book, which really kind of sets the tone for everything. We have some old videos that are very good as well too, but for something that's truly progressive, that's why we made the book, is like something that's progressive for somebody, and it's a complete package to get to a certain comfort, and know almost a lot of the good basics and a lot of the good, a lot of the scales that you see all the time, and sight reading, helping rhythm, all those things. Hard to kind of put that in videos on YouTube, especially if it's something that's progressive, because sometimes we'll make another video and a couple other videos that are not related to that, and then it's all mixed and mashed inside the YouTube thing.
Yeah, the advantage of the book, as you said, is that it's progressive. It's really built
Yeah.
as a method to make sure you're learning step by step, and it gives you enough time to really let things set in, you know, and
Mm-hmm. Oh, back to that piece again. I think it was that something about pieces. I remember.
yeah.
Yeah, she said. Usually, I've played 5 years. Nicole says I played 5 years, and I'm always down to learn any level of piece, because of my free time. Oh, okay. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of great etudes. Like, there's a couple arrangements of the Paganini things that you can learn. There's also Karg-Elert, which are very challenging etudes. Karg-Elert. Those are
Yeah.
really, really challenging and fun.
And just practicing recently, I've done Vivaldi Il Cardellino. The first movement is very good.
Yeah.
And it's not that difficult, but it sounds pretty.
So fun.
Yeah.
It sounds very pretty.
So it sounds more impressive than the level of difficulty. I like those types of pieces. And then, yeah, we talked about other pieces earlier, like Poulenc and Chaminade. All the French book is pretty good. And also, like, we never talk about Prokofiev. Prokofiev is pretty cool.
Yeah, Prokofiev is cool. It's a long piece, but it's
you can pick a movement. You don't have to learn the whole thing.
You can pick one of the four. It's true. There's a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of those things. It's pretty cool. Victor wants to know, Emily, do you have a connection piece on your head joint? Is there a name for it? Yeah, there's those Lefrex, and there's also Woodify. We don't use any of those. Yeah, we don't. My personal opinion is I don't think it helps, to be honest, those types of things. Plus, they're expensive, and a lot of things that...
Woodify isn't a bit cheaper,
Woodify is cheaper, but I meant for, like, Lefrec and all those things. It's, like, a little bit like, I don't really endorse that. Same with you. Like, I think we just play the flute. Makes the sound... For me, the flute makes the sound I want it to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a very particular thing for particular people.
Because the theory is that there's more metal to vibrate, so the sound would be... But
that's a theory,
really,
for sure.
I don't get it, because the sound is made at the embouchure plate when it...
Yeah.
That's where the sound is made, really. Yeah.
It's another story of overcomplicating things, unless I actually see the science towards it. But there's been a lot of research about that stuff like that in the 80s and 90s at, like, the University of Colorado and other places like that. So I would not... I don't know. I think you're right. It's already... you know, you're, like we said, I'm
not an acoustician, I'm not a specialist, but yeah.
But it would be something maybe eventually, but they're very expensive. I was eventually going to think about, like, taking it through its paces and, like, getting a loaner or something, but it's very hard to get, and also because they're expensive and they don't, they keep it close.
I would have to really try it.
Yeah, we have to really
make sure it sounds good before buying that.
Yeah, because exactly. Okay, what do we got here? Liam Boris, do you prefer playing solo or in an orchestra, and why?
I used to love playing in orchestra. Sorry.
Okay.
But now I prefer to play solo. Yeah. And it's funny because I did a concerto a few months, I don't know, that's right. Not very long ago. And one of the musicians in the orchestra was saying, I can't imagine playing as a soloist, would be so stressful. And now I feel like I love that. I love that little stress. I think it's so exciting. And playing in the orchestra, I used to love it, but now I did it for a while, and maybe I don't find it as exciting. It's fun, to change, but maybe one day I'll feel like going back to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like it still, but really the big excitement for me is playing solo. Yeah,
orchestra's fun, solo's fun. I think there's more to that, obviously, because there's also small ensembles in your own band or your own group, so I think a lot of those
chamber music's cool.
Music, all
but
that stuff,
I think I realized what I like is the contact with the public that's direct. When you play in the orchestra, there's a conductor between you and the listeners. When you're a soloist, it's more direct.
Exactly.
And when you play chamber music, it's more direct.
Yeah.
But I think that's the little thing. But I still like all of it. I like playing music with good musicians, band nice people.
Exactly. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. What else do we got here? We got, let's see. We got, how long? Wildflower. Sorry for the mumbling. How long do flutes usually last? I've had one for about 10 to 15 years, or 15 to 20 years, an old Armstrong, and I'm having tons of problems with that flute, and my band director slammed my cleaning rod into my head joint a few times. Oh my, what does that do? Okay, well, slamming, yeah, like the cleaning rod going inside the head joint. So they're probably pushing on the head joint cork. So, again, if you haven't
You have
gotten
to
it to take
unscrew it
replace,
first, though. If you push and you didn't unscrew it, it's
oh, you're saying something that's a bit. It's not that.
okay.
But anyways, like the flute joint, if you haven't taken it for repairs, you should take it for repairs. If you haven't ever, so do that. It'll definitely give back its life. To answer the question, to go back again, is any flute will last pretty much forever as long as you're around. As long as you take it to the repair tech and give it its required, like repairing the pads or replacing the pads and fixing or replacing the head joint cork, which is the cork that's at the top of the head joint where it's at the very top of the head joint. Those are all important things to change. Now, because of technology, we have head joints now that are made out of Delrin, which is a plastic and not a cork, because cork is endangered to a certain point, and people are now using these washers and 3D printed or machined Delrin head joint corks, which have proven to have a better seal than cork, and better seal on a flute means a more stronger tone on the flute. So those are always good, and they're very cheap and actually easy to replace. You can actually replace it yourself. There are 2 or 3 companies out there that sell them for like $25 and even give instructions on how to do it. And you can also get the particular model for whatever type of head joint it is by a different company. Some of them are very universal, some of the major brands, but some of them have other measurements. So yeah, I would not I wouldn't replace it. I would definitely, if you really love that flute and how it sounds, you should definitely go and take it to the repair tech and get the pads replaced and give it a nice overhaul.
But sometimes it happens that, like, I had a student who did that, and the repair tech said it would cost so much to bring your flute to a level, and it wouldn't even sound that good. So maybe I would just replace it, and she did, and she was very happy because the flute was not maintained, so certain things moved, and so it was it wasn't straight anymore.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Just get an estimate. Obviously, bring it to the tech. They're more than happy to give you an estimate. I think even some, if you're not close to one, you can mail them to them, and they can, for a small charge, give you a free estimate about what to do. So hopefully that helps. A lot of feel better, Emily, as you guys can hear.
Thank you so much.
As long as you can hear, she's been sick for at least a week, and we've been she's just been trying to heal. So very important to get well. So what else we got here? Hey, Flo wants to know, have you got a tip? What is your best tip for playing low and high notes? Well, there'd be 2 tips there, I guess. Yeah. So we've made some videos about that too.
Airspeed.
Airspeed. Yep. Airspeed. It's a lot to do with airspeed. Yeah. That's the tip.
So when you play low, it's slower air. That's right. And high, it's faster. Yeah. And slow air is warmer, so you can do it in your hand, and then faster air is cooler, and you can work on it a little bit on your hand, and then you can work on it on your flute.
Right.
And that would be the best tip. You can use vowels as well, like O, ah, more open vowels in the lower register, and go to more direct U, something that will bring the air a bit faster, because then you change the shape of the mouth inside, and then it's going to change how the air gets on the, and there's also the idea that the air hits the right spot on the embouchure plate, so there's an angle thing, if you practice and you're mindful, you'll notice where it sounds good, and then you can go back to that feeling.
Exactly. Cool. What else we got here? Jaden wants to know, do our instruments have names? I don't have a name for my instrument. It's just my flute. So I guess it's called my flute. You don't have a name for your flute, do you?
No, when I was younger, I named it La Castafiore, but
okay.
I don't use it.
You don't use it anymore. Kind of grew out of it.
Call it my flute.
Yeah. Flo wants to know, have you got a tip for the 3rd octave? it sounds airy at some point when I'm playing. Third octave, maybe it's
Usually
after
people get kind of nervous,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they cover so much that the air is not in the right angle anymore. Make sure you're not bringing your flute inwards
Yeah,
too much.
that's usually
Keep it out. Make sure it's not rolling in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I see the most.
Yeah.
And also use your head as a resonator. So open and I can do it, but like your head voice and like putting
I'll
the
demonstrate.
palette, bringing it up, you know, and
exactly.
it's almost as if the sound was coming out of the top of your head, you know. It's like that's how I feel about it. But the thing I see the most is people cover. They get nervous and then they cover.
Yeah, usually the flute has been designed that it does tend to rock backwards more than it does forwards a lot. So always be mindful about that, because even that little bit of backward motion will move. It will be a lot of motion.
Yeah,
on the head
especially
joint.
because the third octave, you have a lot of fingerings that
moving,
are moving. So fingers move so much that if your flute is not stable, it's gonna rock backwards, and then you're gonna cover too much.
Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. Handan wants to know, what is your suggestion for learning rhythms? Our book can help, because you have every chapter of our book that we've made.
Our book for beginners has rhythms. I want to make a book, another one just about rhythm.
Yeah.
Because so many people have issues with that, and it's so important, because if you don't follow if you don't refer to a pulse, then when you want to play with others, it's very difficult. So the thing that I would say is always refer to a pulse.
Yeah.
And you can write the pulses in your music.
That's it.
And see where, so you visualize exactly where they are, you know.
Yeah, so hopefully that helps. That can be a very little tips like that, you know, writing it in, visualizing, you know, getting any type of additional information to make you familiar with the rhythm.
Because sometimes people are like, okay, I'm playing an 8 note, it's faster than a quarter note, so they go a bit faster and then a bit slower, but it's not exact, you know.
Exactly.
But it has to be always referring to some tack, you know, to a very stable pulse. And sometimes it's better to just use a smaller note, like let's say use a 8 note as a reference in the beginning, and then use a quarter note later once you really get the rhythm right. Subdivided. Then you can you know. But
so we have
I'm starting to think about how I can make it very clear so that people can get very comfortable with rhythm.
Sure. There we go. So we'll do about 3 or 4 more questions, and then we'll close out the show. But great questions so far. Amazing. Maya Chavez wants to know, my keys are sticky and my band director says use money or cigarette papers. Should I do that or buy powdered paper? So that's a pretty big question. It's an interesting one, because the money and cigarette paper thing really comes from the saxophone world a lot. And so I wouldn't advise that, because saxophone pads have leather pads, or they have a different pad than the fish skin or, you know, synthetics that we use. So you know, I would really advise, you know, getting cleaning out your flute as fast as you can with a rag or anything while you're playing. Say you're in between band movements or whatever, grab your stick with the rag or whatever you have to clean it out and put it back together again. Sticky pads, the unfortunate thing is that if you put something in between them, you don't close and pull. You have to close and then just release it, because if you close and pull, you have super high risk of damaging the pads and ripping the pads open. So if you do use something like there's powdered paper by Yamaha that makes some stuff, but even just cigarette paper works very, very well. But just get the ones that are like completely void of any dyes or anything. So like just plain or, you know, just plain bleached ones or whatever, or non-bleached ones, and just, you know, put it in the pad, close, release, and then pull it out. Don't close and pull. Like if you're dragging something through with tension, it has to have 0 tension. The key has to be back up. And then that can definitely remove some of the moisture that's being developed around the tone holes and stuff like that. So hopefully that helps you. What else do we got here? So If you could choose a different instrument, what would it be? Oh, we already answered that one. But, if I had to choose another one and only play that other one, again, I think I would choose, like, now that you mentioned guitar, maybe guitar. Because I never tried it, and I like that. Or violin. Or cello. I don't know. We'll see. Or piano. You?
I don't know.
You don't know. It's a tough one.
I like the flute.
Yeah. I like the flute a lot, too. What do we got here? First, I play blah. What brands do you recommend? That's another question we get a lot. We have a lot of videos that we tried so many different brands of flutes. Like, obviously, like, we like the ones that we play on. I play on Yamaha, and you play on Sankyoi, Prima Sankyoi. So, but there's a lot. There's dozens and dozens, and we have a whole entire playlist of them.
We recommend.
Yeah, we don't really recommend one particular one because it fits for everybody. Everyone's different.
Yeah, and a lot of companies make good flutes. Just try different things,
Yeah.
And like we said before, you can go to the Flute Center of New York and you can use our code TFC. You can try up to 4 flutes, I think, at a time, and then you send them back. Yeah. And this way, you can try flutes, try different models, and see what's best for you.
Exactly, and that's where it really comes down to when trying flutes
and then
budgeting.
Maintain it, Yeah,
and maintain it. It's like buying, then having the budget to maintain it.
Keep a little budget for maintaining so that you can keep that flute forever.
Exactly. So, what else do we got here? I have an upcoming solo. I'm playing Sonata in D minor from Finger. Do you have any suggestions for better breathing? I've never heard of the Sonata by Finger. I don't know who that is.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Breathing, we have a video about breathing,
big
but
one about breathing, yeah.
Choose where you want to breathe.
Yes.
Write it down in your music, make a little comma or a little
a little check mark, yeah. Exactly.
And then practice it. And if you realize it's not working, you can always change it.
Mm-hmm.
But then at least you'll know where you can breathe. And also the other thing that I notice is when you try to breathe too fast, we tend to close the throat.
Yeah.
And then we get so little air that it's not really worth it. So just psychologically thinking that you have more time to breathe will make it way more efficient.
Totally.
So I try to breathe slow, fast.
Mm-hmm.
I go instead of I start slow and I go in and I chill around when I breathe in.
Mm-hmm.
This way you can really fill up more, and you can also just push your belly out, and it helps to make space. But open your throat and make sure you're really breathing, not just putting air a little bit in your chest. That's not enough, and then you're always gonna run out of air.
Yeah. So before we answer our last question, just to let everybody know again, we do this once a month at the end of, usually it's the last Sunday of every month, but because of sicknesses and
I had
Year's and all
no
things,
voice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Zero.
So just be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the Flute channel, and also subscribe to the podcast over on any podcast, wherever you find podcasts. You can also leave us a voicemail if you want. We can play it on the show. You can go to do that on the Anchor app, which is like the anchor, like you throw down a boat. So anchor.fm, and then you can /flute. So anchor.fm/flute. You can go there and leave a voice message for us, and we can play it back on the show and even answer your question on the show live. And then what else is there? Then we have also the Patreon, which you can go there and help us by tipping us monthly, $2 or whatever amount you want a month. And that goes directly to us and helps us make more content. And that's really great. You can go and find that at patreon.com/theflute channel. And then we also have our store.theflutechannel.com. That's where our poster is, which has been selling pretty well this past month. It's our fingering chart poster. It's huge. It's we got to eventually get it framed here, but it's a very large poster. People have bought it. There's a one in black and white, one in a very colorful thing. And that's and also we have shirts and mugs and all those types of things. And if you're looking for a flute, go to the Flute Center of New York, flutesforsale.com, the number 4. So flutesforsale.com. You can go and use our code TFC. And by doing that, you can get to try up to 3 to 4 flutes for up to 10 days and an extended 18-month warranty on the flute that you choose to buy. So, and that's worldwide, so you can definitely do that, or you can contact them by phone. They're all flutists there, and it's a really, really great place to
and thanks to everyone who used our code. Yeah.
Exactly. And then finally, we have our new store, which is the digital store, which is where all of our where all of our digital courses are going to be and are. And also some sheet music and stuff like that. And that's Musigy, so MOUSGY.com. So Musigy.com.
MUSO.
MUSO, yeah. MUSO. GY.com. You can find all that in the description box and also in the comment and also in the description of the episode as well. And that's where our book is right now, which is 15 beginner lessons for flute by Emily, and you can get the physical book, which we've sold a bunch of, and also you can just buy the digital, which includes the PDF and all the videos as well. Same with the book, you get all the videos and you get all that, and you can go find that all there. And those will still be on sale for right now. They've been on sale since release, so those will be on sale for an undisclosed amount of time still. But if you want to get your hands on it now, the best time is to do it now if you want to do that. And yeah, it's been really great. So last question, or last one or two questions, and we'll get going. Thanks everybody for your support on all of those things. It helps us out so much. We have a lot of great stuff coming up soon, including a video about you reacting to people who've sent videos of them playing, which is going to be really, really cool, I think.
I'll try to say helpful things.
Yeah, and if you actually go find our comment thread on that on the community page, and you can add a link of you playing, and we'll definitely look at that in future episodes, because I think we're going to do it as a series eventually. So
when I get my voice back.
When you get your voice back. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I saw a good one. Where was it? What is your favorite type of flute by Microsoft Word? Favorite type of flute? I love bass flutes, although we don't have one. I like bass flutes a lot.
Yeah, you like playing on the alto. We have an alto.
Okay. I like alto, but I mean, like, bass is something that I think will be our next big purchase if that's the case, because I really like bass flute, and the way it sounds and stuff, it's really cool. So
we could do cool arrangements.
Oh yeah, totally.
With all our flutes.
With all the flutes, yeah. Make it not flute. I want to make something that's fluty but not fluty. You know what I mean? Like, we have to add other instruments, obviously, like piano and drums. I like
percussion. You know, when people said great. Which instrument, yeah, but the thing is, when I see percussionists bringing all their stuff, I'm like, I'm happy I'm not a percussionist, but I like the percussions. Because I always have to bring so many things.
Exactly. And finally, what do we got here? We got Nolan Tanner. He wants to know, what is your favorite major scale to play?
Scale?
Major scale. I don't know. I think E flat's really good. I like E
flat.
I like
major. D.
Oh, D major?
Yeah.
D major is good. Yeah. I like the non-fluty ones, because like we've heard G major everywhere, D major just
You're right.
everywhere. But like I think some other ones, there's some that are like A major is like, I think A major is
yeah, it sounds.
Griff's poem is written in that, I think. No, F major. No, I don't remember what.
Chaminade is in D.
Yeah, Chaminade in D, but Griff's poem isn't. I think it's in some other key.
I don't remember by heart. I knew it by heart because I played it with Orchestra, and I played it. Exactly. I think I played by heart.
Cool.
Back then, I used to learn everything by heart.
Also, yeah. So there you go.
Back then.
Exactly, back then. Also, leave a review, by the way. Just wanted to say, finally, leave a review on Apple Podcasts as well. That helps us so much. It's actually broadened us to way more people now because of the amazing people like you that have gone over on Apple Podcasts and leave a review for the Flute Talk podcast. That really does help a lot. And also tell people about us. It's the new year. Maybe make a new goal is tell another flutist about us. That must be pretty cool. We always try to tell people, hey, we try to encourage other people, other channels too. So that's really fun. So hopefully hopefully you guys can do that and go on Apple Podcasts and leave a review. And I think that's everything for this month. So there'll be new videos coming out soon. If you have questions or comments, please go to this video on YouTube or leave a comment on anchor.fm, or leave a question, whatever you like. But get in contact with us. It's easiest to get in contact with us. And be sure to like this video as well. And that's it. I'm Nick.
And I'm Amelie.
Thanks, everyone. See you. Bye.
Bye.